I'd say let's get started,
Yeah.
even though it's a couple minutes ahead of 6. Everybody's here, so good evening, or actually good afternoon, technically. But thank you all for volunteering. It's good to see all the familiar faces. Like to see a few more, but here we are.
Not all of them. Still in the shout out, right?
Exactly. But thank you all for volunteering. It's always appreciated. As you know, this town couldn't exist without volunteers. It really makes a huge difference. So thank you for volunteering your time. Unless any of the other board members have anything to say, I'm gonna turn it over to Ken.
All right, we sent out the highlights, there's printed copies in front of you. I'll just run down real quick, I'll try not to read verbatim, but if there's something you guys have a question on, just let me know. Municipal Building, we're still working on that, it's a 23 or 24-year-old building. We've had to do some repairs. One of the things that we did do was, last year and the year before, we replaced the lights in the highway garage and the fire bays with LEDs. We did the office areas this year. You can see the project cost was $44,644. Incentive from Unitil of $22,323. And the balance is gonna be paid through what they call on-bill financing at 0% increase, interest. The company that did the work projected that the monthly payments for the on-bill financing will be less than the savings will be better than what the new bills will be, electric bills. So, and in 10 years will be paid off, and then we'll have our lights on LEDs. And they're all smart lights, so when you walk in, they're motion lights, and they actually harvest daylight from the windows, so they don't put as much energy into the lights if it's a bright day out. So hopefully we'll save some energy up there. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of roof leaks up there, and I met a company last week, and they walked the whole building, and we have some repairs that need to be done to the roof. All the boots and gaskets around all the poke-throughs in the roof have to be redone. One of the vents for the heaters in the fire station high bays, apparently the snow hit it pretty hard and bent the whole vent out. So that has to be replaced because there's about an inch gap now. And we also found out, they also told us that the standing seam roof really was not installed correctly. There should be no screws going through any of the standing seam roof, and they screwed the whole leading edge along the drip line. And they said that all of those screws really should be replaced because they have little rubber grommets and they dry out over time. And they said you're gonna start having leaks with those too. So they're gonna send me. Pardon me?
And the rust.
Yeah, and apparently, when you install a standing seam roof, when it gets to the drip edge, there's supposed to be extra material on the metal part, and it goes over and it's supposed to be folded over and then crimped underneath. But apparently they just cut it, and that's why they put the screws in. And now there's a bare edge of metal, and if you go up there, you can look at it, and that whole edge is all orange, it's all rust. So they didn't think that was too big of a deal, but they said that's why there's screws in there, because instead of crimping it under, they just cut it off and then screwed it in. So,
The screw heads also hold ice back too.
pardon me?
The screw heads will also start the ice dams.
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
So, they're gonna send me an estimate for the repairs and we'll see what happens up there. Anyway, unfortunately,
Is it
that's.
too late to sue the original installer of the roof? Get a little payback?
Yeah, couldn't even get him to answer the phone,
So
could you?
I contacted, the builder back in 2015, right after I started, and they wouldn't even return my phone calls. And I left messages and said, look, I'm not looking for warranty work, we have some leaks, can you either come fix them or tell us who to fix them, and they wouldn't even return my calls.
And now you know what?
Yes, now I know.
Jeez.
Sam Lake House, we had to put a new sump pump in. We have to pump the septic tank every couple of years. We have a water softener, and that water serves, as you know, these buildings here. So, instead of just buying 4 or 5 bags at a time, we bought a whole bunch of salt to last us through the year. We do maintenance on our generator, and we're gonna have the Department of Corrections paint the interior trim up there. And so we bought paint supplies. And we're also having the Municipal Building, Department of Corrections is gonna be painting the front part of the building also. They've got the trim almost all done, and they're gonna be coming back and doing the clapboards, so.
I can't remember, Ken, are they painting the library as well? Wasn't
No,
there
they're gonna
some?
be painting this building here.
This building,
This building,
but not the library.
not the library.
Okay.
Town Hall, we did replace the cap shingles on the roof last week, and we also replaced the cap shingles on this roof. The shingles themselves are fine, but just the caps were all wearing out. We've been picking up pieces of shingle for almost a year now. And we spent between the two buildings, we spent about $5,000. So those budget's gonna be over. We also installed an AED here, which was a little over $1,000. So this meeting house maintenance budget's gonna be over, but that's why. The library director notified us in April about the furnaces. The selectmen are reviewing the proposals. We have 26,000 and change in the cap reserve account for building maintenance. So the selectmen are most likely gonna use 20,000 of it. Hopefully later on tonight, they'll make a decision on, we've got, I don't know, 5 or 6 different bids. And they range anywhere from 45,000 to 80,000 for replacing the furnaces, mini splits, combination. So they're gonna try and make a decision tonight. And then we move down to departments. The new engine was delivered in July and is in service. Rescue 1, the replacement's gonna be in service hopefully in September. We contracted with a used fire apparatus dealer. It's a nationwide online service, and they take a portion of whatever we sell the vehicle for. We had, I think we listed it 3 weeks ago, listed both the engine 3 and rescue 1, and we've had, I think, 1 or 2 inquiries so far. So hopefully we'll be able to sell those at a decent price. Police department hired a new full-time patrol officer. He's in the police academy. Highway department, the people we hired last year both left. We hired 2 more. Unfortunately, the people who are hiring don't have CDLs. One did have a CDL, but had an automatic restriction, so he's trying to get his unrestricted license. We did send one to CDL school, and he now has his unrestricted license. We have one person that's a seasonal plow driver that is coming back this year. We have still 1 vacancy for a full-time employee, but actually that's not true anymore. We hired a person, and he's gonna be starting on the 7th of September. But again, he does not have a CDL, so we're gonna have to send him to school. We've had some, I think if you went through the P&L, you probably noticed in the maintenance lines that were over, particularly on T3 and T7. So those maintenance lines are, we've had problems with T3, motor repairs. We put in over $16,000 in repairs to that truck, just this year. You can see the loader budget was over, the repair budget was over expended, but we had the work done to it last year, but we didn't get invoiced until this year. And we used, we had some highway block grant money left over, HV2 funding. We received, can't remember the total amount of money we received, but we used some of it. And it's for our highway maintenance and repairs. And so we used that to pay for the loader. So we have about just under $18,000 left of that HB2 money. So
Can I ask, the training line is also over budget, is that due to sending the guy to
That's-
CDL?
the CDLs, yes, that's the training line. Yep. The transfer station, we have a full staff now. The cost per ton delivered to wind waste is $100 with $350 per ton surcharge. That's refundable. We have had some frustrating issues with that system, with that reimbursement and billing. Wind waste is billing us incorrectly. Something with their software doesn't know how to multiply $3.50 times tons. It's, our bills from them are either 5, 3, or 7 cents over what we should be paying. And we've contacted them and tried to get them to straighten it out, and we keep getting bills that are over
Per ton, I
per
assume,
ton.
yeah.
And so the last invoice, I said to Mary, make the check out for the correct amount. And then the reimbursement from DES, the program started the first of the year. We could not log on to trying to get our reimbursements until July 1st. So they're reimbursing every quarter, but we couldn't start until halfway through the year. And we still haven't, I put in for that reimbursement on July 6th and didn't get it yet. And then we had some emails back and forth between DES, and we have to have a vendor number. And they changed the vendor number on us. And apparently the last email I got from DES was they're frustrated with the program also, and they're having IT issues, and they're hoping that they can get things straightened out. And you can't even apply for a reimbursement until 90 days after the quarter is over. So we're gonna be at the least 3 months behind on reimbursements throughout the year. It's not a lot.
Over a year.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money. We're talking, probably less than $1,000 annually, but still, it's just,
The aggravation fee is more than
yeah,
that,
right, the aggravation is there, and I'm just like,
which is what they're probably figuring.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
One of the things that we should look at, and I may be getting ahead of myself a little bit, but one of the things we should look at with the transfer station is the salt shed.
It's as good a time as any to bring it up.
I have pictures of, and I'll hand these around if you want, pictures of
Yeah, that's pretty.
the salt shed that really is in need of replacement. Those are the legs that hold the thing up. So I've looked at talked to other towns on different salt sheds, and a lot of towns are going to the concrete block foundation,
With them?
the big concrete blocks like Jersey barrier type, and then they put a dome cover over it,
Years ago.
fabric dome cover that has a 20 or 25-year life on it,
Thanks.
and
The guys went in to offload the sander.
David.
David,
I can't type everybody one person talking.
and a 22 by 40, which is approximate the size we have today, was $66,000. We got a cap reserve account last year, we put $25,000 in it, or this year. So, we'll see what happens, with the budget and warrant articles coming in 27.
So two things related to that. One, as, I don't know if this is, if it's less, susceptible to erosion from the salt, but what about mass timber as a construction type instead of concrete or?
So John was saying that, I can't remember which town he said, just built one, and they put concrete blocks and then lined it with timber. So the salt doesn't actually, or very little salt actually gets to the concrete, because the salt will eat the concrete eventually.
Yeah, oh, you may not even need the concrete though.
And that was,
Actually,
Did you say mass?
mass timber, that's when they take smaller pieces of wood and there are a bunch of different ways of creating it, but they glue it together.
Oh, okay, so
Or-
not like Massachusetts.
No, and then,
Just
so-
checking.
so they're taking smaller pieces of timber and then it becomes a bigger piece of timber, so if you need like a 60-foot long
Yeah.
beam or something, that's how they make it.
Gotcha.
And it's very, I know it performs really well in fire tests,
Mhm.
better than steel,
Yeah.
because it chars and stops burning
Right.
instead of melting and collapsing.
right,
I don't know how it handles salt erosion though.
okay, all
I
right.
think it's definitely worth looking at.
I'll look into it, I
Yeah.
haven't written it down, so I'll look into it, yeah.
Interesting, and then I have a second question. What was it, something about, so are we still considering potentially rearranging things at the dump and therefore any decision about what to do for the salt shed should depend on that plan, right?
That's coming up.
Yeah.
That's definitely got
It's still out
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep, yeah, as you know, the areas report was done, the selectmen have it, there were some options on there, at the areas report, so, it's one of those things that we have to look into.
Yeah.
The Packer truck, and again, I'm probably getting ahead of myself a little bit, but the Packer truck, was replaced. We have a new Packer, it's bigger, so it doesn't have to go as often. We have electric hydraulic pump on it, so it doesn't have to idle. And we did it all, and we came in under budget by
16 grand.
$16,000. We bought a used Packer, but it is in real good shape. And so we were able to save some money there from what we had originally thought in the warrant article. So that will at least, that gives us some time that if something were to happen at Wind Waste, that it gives us a little bit of leeway to do something with, so. Let's
So is
see.
this the time when we need to say like, okay, we need to put a placeholder for salt shed in the budget somewhere and start getting prices at least, so we know whether we can or can't?
I think that would be a discussion probably for the Board of Selectmen
Yeah.
to start looking at in September. And I think we need to get ideas from other departments on what their needs are gonna be for warrant articles in 27. We just got a new fire truck, we just got a new dump truck. We'll see.
And the roof.
Right.
Let's not forget the roof.
Let's see, the town office, our land use administrator resigned in May. Jan helped us out for a few weeks, but then went off to Canada for the summer. She said she is available if we need her help, electronically, and they plan on coming back this fall, so, we haven't gotten any applications for that position. We've been advertising. The staff at the office has been trying to fill in. So it's just, I think that's one of those things, we'll see what happens if we can get somebody in on it. Taxes, the numbers are there, what we've collected. one of the things that Sam brought up, last week at the Selectmen's meeting, that, in total, we have almost $200,000 in back taxes owed. And of that, 120 is what, or over 120 is what's owed for the July 26 bill, which is higher than normal. And he said he's a little concerned about that. So we'll see what happens if people start paying their taxes, to try and get those numbers down a little bit. Revenue, we got $11,000 from the Sam Lake Trust. And, the balance of that will be $68,000. We can use that for repairs or maintenance, to the Sam Lake House or any of the property. We use that money from that trust to pay for the garage, renovation, which is complete. So, I think, we're good on that. Interest on investments, I think as everybody knows, we had started investing in CDs last year. We got 300,000 from 100,000 CDs for the conservation. And then, we have 500,000 CDs from the general account. And we cash those in as needed right now we have, the taxes have all mostly been paid. So we have some money, so we're investing it. We're earning anywhere from 3.4 to 3.8% interest on those CDs, which is about 1.5% more than what we would earn if it was in our general account. We do earn interest on our general account, but it's a lower rate. So. And then, the numbers are there for the highway block grant funds that we received so far. We got $4,000 for a radar unit for the PD, and they're also applying for a grant for a LiDAR radar unit, which is a laser, directed radar unit, handheld laser unit. Fire department, updated emergency operations plan, which had to be done in order for us to apply for other grants. It was a $4,000 cost, and we're waiting for 50% reimbursement from the state. We submitted back in March, and apparently the person that we sent all our paperwork to left. And so I checked in with them last week to say, hey, what's going on? And that person doesn't work here anymore, and so there's some paperwork snafu going on there. So I'm trying to work with the state Homeland Security to get that money sent back to us.
What's the difference between radar and LiDAR?
So the radar units that are in the cars shoot out a cone, and if you have multiple vehicles coming, then you can't tell which one is speeding. It just makes it more difficult. A LiDAR has like a laser pointer, so you can pick out a particular individual vehicle. Makes it easier for them to enforcement on the correct vehicle.
I just want to go back to the interest on investments and say,
Yep.
well done. That
Well,
was
thank
a
you.
Great change to make that, and I think that was only like half the year, right? We started
That
mid-year.
is, yeah.
So $50,000 or $60,000 and
Yeah.
that's,
So,
that's,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
pays for
Exactly.
some significant piece of highway equipment, right?
Or a furnace or a roof or
Some other.
or something on the
Right.
on the T3.
Yeah, I think we were fortunate the TD Bank was able to give us this program, and we've been fortunate to have our tax dollars roll in at the right times, and we went from our last CD for the general account, we cashed in the end of December, and then we started back up in, I think it was June 1st. So we went almost 6 months without investing, but we had payments for the fire truck and things like that we had to use, so. But given that, I think that looking at that and looking at how much interest we made, we did pretty good.
Yeah, it's so nice to have that extra little
Yeah.
income from nowhere. And we
Yeah.
they went to the bank, yeah, we got money.
That's it.
And speaking of the new fire truck, this is not a budget item, but could we have a meet the new fire truck and pet it and tell it how much we love it?
Yeah,
I mean, I think we should celebrate. We spent
Yeah, I
$1 million
agree.
on this thing. Let's have a party.
Mike picked the date yet, because we have talked about it.
Okay.
So-
Yeah.
So it's somewhere in the planning.
And that the fire chief wants to have some kind of public event
Yeah.
to welcome them.
oh, good.
I don't know what you might want to mix it with, but there's another Music in the Center event in early September.
Oh,
The
okay.
first or second week,
September 3rd.
so people are already gathering
Yeah.
in the center.
September 23rd?
No,
3rd.
I'm sorry, September, is that Labor Day weekend?
no,
That's
Oh.
next week.
that's next week.
Isn't it September?
Yeah, September 3rd. Labor Day is
Labor
the
Day's.
7th, so
Okay.
that's the Thursday before.
Yeah, September
Okay,
3rd.
September 3rd.
So there's people in the center for that, there's also whatever, the market goes until,
All right.
It's September 30th,
Gotcha.
so.
Yeah.
And Scott, I don't know, maybe you could answer this. One of the traditions they have with new fire trucks sometimes is they push it into
Yep.
the station.
Um,
I don't know if they've done that yet or
We have not done that yet.
that might be a time.
Crew pushes it or can the whole?
Can everybody push?
Anybody that.
Can you imagine, oh my gosh, the little kids in town are gonna just blow up if they get to push the fire truck, including this
Alright,
little
well,
kid.
I'll talk to the fire chief about
Yeah,
that.
see what he thinks about it.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
good excuse for a party. Thank you guys.
The excuse. But it is, I mean, it's such a huge investment
Yeah.
of town funds.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
And it was such a long wait.
Yeah.
Now, that same truck would be 1.2 something million and a 4 to 5 year wait. So.
Well, that's why we're already saving for the next one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And you know, if we get a 6-year-old to help push it in, by the time that truck retires, that 6-year-old will be a parent.
Could be cheap.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, they'll be on the fire department anyway.
Yeah.
We hope.
Yeah.
They'll be driving it.
Yep.
The enterprise fund, which is for the solid waste, is collected $74,542, and expenditures are about $105,520. So tax dollars are subsidizing about 29% of the cost of solid waste.
Is that, I have no idea how to think
That's
about this.
It's about right. Last year, I think it was around 30%. It's been running anywhere from 25 to 35%, depending on costs and revenue.
And did we recently raise the price of bags? Can't remember.
Yes, we
Yes.
did.
About a number of things
Yeah.
that you're charging for them.
Yeah.
January 1st.
Right.
So it's too soon to do it again.
And yes, they have adjusted to it.
Yes.
Of course.
No, there was a lot of
Yes.
commentary.
And some of them are still upset that I have to inform them that by administration, I'm not allowed to even touch their $100 bill. I told them, I said, you're lucky I could take the 50. Not allowed to touch the 50, the hundreds.
Right. You see building permit fees, $12,000, and then expenses around $9,500. And then other revenues are about where they should be. Warrant articles, the sliding water tank for the higher department. Well, it really wasn't delivered last week. It was ordered in April and it arrived at the Fairfields over in Warner. And they went to pick it up last week and it wasn't set up for our truck, so they had to take it. They have some setup to do on it. But it's here. Luckily, it hasn't been a real dry summer like it was last year, so we've been able to get through.
Maybe we should have a party for that too when it finally gets installed.
The dump truck that we bought, the new dump truck, instead of having to order one in April or March or April like we have in the past, HB Fairfields had a leftover that was available, and we were able to get that. It came with a plow and spreader and everything. Again, Rescue 1's set to be delivered in September. The extrication equipment was purchased and service. The new packer truck is all done. The waste oil burner was installed and actually was used a couple times. And again, last but not the least, in fact, probably the most important was the new copier printer for the town office is done and installed and printed those lovely pictures that I showed you guys.
Ooh, well now I'm gonna take a better look at them.
Do the people of the town know we can take in waste oil now?
We never stopped taking waste oil.
Oh, okay.
It's just we were trying to find a place to get rid of it that was consistent, that would consistently take it. We were sending it to one place, they stopped taking it, then we were sending it to another place, and then they stopped taking it, and then we went back to the other place. So we've been kind of back and forth between 2 or 3 different
I see.
people that would take the waste oil, and now we can use it, so.
So should we encourage people to bring it in? And so it's
We
also
can,
environmental.
I'll put a
benefit.
yeah, we can put something in the newsletter, just to, yeah.
Just out of curiosity, is waste oil just only motor oil or what constitutes waste oil?
Clean, or well, I
Hydraulic?
don't know, clean,
Hydraulic, power steering,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just no.
No
dirty diesel.
no paint products, Dinex, gasoline, kerosene, we really don't want. Antifreeze. We would just really like to take,
Petroleum.
straight used motor oil would be the best. And if, we get some other things like Dave just mentioned, we can, but the staff at the transfer station, looks at it before they dump it in our big tank.
And I'm the only one that dumps in the holding tank. I don't allow my helpers to.
It's a good idea.
So if there's a mess up, there's only one person liable.
We'll remember that. We'll remember that.
Same with the receipt books, there's only one signature goes in them unless I'm not here.
Good practice.
Most of the budget lines are in expected areas of expenses, we're overexpensed in a few areas. One of the places that we're a little concerned about was the town hall electricity, which not a really big deal, but town building heat is already over budget. And we haven't gotten into the fall heating season yet, so I'm not sure what happened. I didn't think it was an abnormally cold winter, but we'll see. I guess we'll talk with everybody and hopefully, I think, depending on what happens with the library, as far as a replacement HVAC system in there, if we go with all mini splits, then we wouldn't be burning any propane for that building, so that might help. So really, the big user is the municipal building, and we'll see what we can do up there, and maybe with the waste oil burner, that will help in the highway department, so hopefully we can keep that on the budget. I think, unless you have any questions on a particular line, I do have some breakdowns, if you have any questions on revenues, miscellaneous revenues, miscellaneous expenses. If you have any questions on any of those, I can answer questions, but other than that, that's pretty much all I have, I think.
I have a few, I don't think any of them are terribly significant. I was wondering, in the income section, how come there's most of the budget items are zero? So it's hard,
On the income section,
Yeah, we've got the July through August actuals, but most of the items say zero for the budgeted amount, so.
the budget lines, you mean the budget isn't in there, it just shows we're over
Right.
budget?
Yeah.
So, those are
I just forgot to put them.
like,
Oh.
I forgot to put them into QuickBooks, so.
I'm sorry,
can
I
do
should have told you when I first noticed.
No, that's fine. I can remember it was right after town meeting and I was like desperately trying to like get stuff done and I was like, well, the expenses are more important than the income right now. And then
I
I
don't
never went back, so.
Alright,
Thank you.
Line 3401.42. I'm just wondering, so it's miscellaneous income and charges for services, income from departments. How do we even negative charge for, there's a couple of them. How do we even negative charge for services?
34,142 miscellaneous income,
Yeah,
or negative 280.
and then down below the,
Negative 820.
yeah, the 820.
Well, 1296.
The 1296 is the total, but I just don't,
Probably when the budget goes in there, it will,
but it doesn't really, well. So the total line, income from departments other, 3401 at the bottom.
Yep.
Is that supposed
Shows-
to be a roll up of everything above it? Cause that doesn't jive at all.
no.
I'm trying to open QuickBooks.
I
Yeah,
figure
that-
these are all just like, QuickBook issues.
I think that's a quick,
Straighten out
I think
later,
that's a
but
quick
just
issue,
wanna
yeah,
ask
yeah,
about it,
yeah,
point them out.
yeah.
Not really looking for an answer, I just think it's weird. This is not a big item, but down in section 41, general government, 4130.25 miscellaneous, a $2,850 charge where we only anticipated a $100 expense.
Yep.
What was that?
So, 2,000 of that was for the emergency operations plan.
Mm.
We had to pay the contractor, so that was 2,000 of that. And the other 850, one of our fire department vehicles was in a accident, backed into a private vehicle. And we paid the, person for the damages.
Thanks.
John, what line is that, please?
4130.25
Miscellaneous.
on page
I see.
3.
I got
Yeah, we budgeted 100 and we
Because
spent 2850.
because we don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Down in public safety, 4220.70 and .10. I was wondering if those, again, it's some significant expense, but only $1 in the budget. Is that related to the accounting change we made last year of the whole new way that we're billing for the
Is that the
off-duty
off-duty
stuff?
details?
Okay.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That's when
This is.
our old budget, we had that in there and we just put a number in there, we had no idea. And so we put $1 in there just to have a placeholder.
Okay.
But that's how much we've made in that, and it's a special reserve fund for that.
yeah, so if we have to continue to show it that way, and we'll want to explain it or
It's-
explain
it's-
it one to one.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I think we'll have a better idea and maybe we'll do what we did in the past is put some placeholders in there, like, if we have, if our total at the end of the year is 20,000 for the police department, we might put 10,000 in there instead of $1. But that's one of those things we never know.
Right.
Those are all off-duty details.
And I did pull those out of the police and the fire sections, so if you look at the total for police and the total for fire, it doesn't include those numbers, it's just the total for public safety,
Oh, I see.
where that'll throw the numbers off.
I already asked about the CDL. That's it.
Great. Any other questions?
I noticed, quite a bit of new construction, and I don't know whether it's been approved or not on Baptist Hill Road. Two big lots going in, two big housing developments, I guess. Is there gonna be any?
No, I don't believe so.
On Baptist Hill?
Well, it comes out on Baptist Hill.
This is part of the Apperton property that was just subdivided.
Yeah,
So, a developer came into the planning board with a
2 weeks ago?
preconceptual last time around and, It was just a pre-conceptual and they're potentially putting whatever, 7, 8 houses in there, maybe 13.
13 houses, that could be 20 cars additional at the end of Baptist Hill Road, which is a scenic road supposedly. And then there's 4 or 5 more next to 107, my house. He's developing, somebody's going to develop that, at least I've seen the plans. Is that- Yeah, next to 107.
I haven't seen that.
Are you saying that you're seeing,
Where did I see these? I guess I saw them in the planning.
you saw
You saw
plans, you didn't
documents, yeah.
see work
No,
already?
there's nothing actually
No,
happening.
no,
Oh, okay,
nothing.
I was gonna say,
It made it sound like trucks were out there.
yeah, that's what I was trying to figure
I'm
out.
sorry.
It was a pre-conceptual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was very not,
We should have a concept of what we're going to say to people that are intending to put a whole bunch of new cars on that road.
Parking meters.
it was brought up and he didn't even know the road wasn't paved. So
Oh, okay,
it's very pre-conceptual.
all right. But, yeah, that one down on Everton's or whatever, that could maybe require a traffic light at some point. There's so many cars that could be added on to the budget. That's 24 cars maybe, I don't know, an addition.
A traffic light?
I don't wanna pay for a traffic light.
I'm
I'm trying to discourage the whole concept, actually.
When I look at the traffic that's on the other roads, when we look at the traffic counts, I
Right.
mean, I can't imagine 24 cars is going to.
Well, it's a tricky spot about this though.
Yeah,
It's
because
not
they're all
a
in
good
this
spot.
Could be dangerous.
And that one person that's going 72 miles an hour or whatever.
Well,
They've got radar now, that's not gonna happen anymore.
Right.
That's true.
LiDAR too. But you can't light your way out of it, I don't know.
Exactly.
Baptist Hill Road is a scenic and historic road, but it's from Baptist Road to Briar Bush. That's where so it's from Baptist Road up to Briar Bush is considered scenic and historic.
Yeah, okay. Does it have any limitation on traffic or cars or?
No, the only thing that means is, let's see,
You can't cut down historic trees that
The
were
utility
planted
has
by.
to
Right.
have permission
Committee.
to trees.
right, reading the RSA, that if you're cutting or removing trees or tearing down or destruction of stone walls, has to be a public hearing, so on and so forth, go before the planning board and all that, yeah. Anything else?
Thank you. Can you just tell me what the general plan is for soon, starting now, you're gonna start having department heads come in to pitch their ideas of what their next year's gonna be? Are you giving them guidance up front about like try and keep it to a 1% increase or try and keep it flat or?
So typically what we have done is look at the CPI and advise them, this is what it is, and unless something drastic happens, then it'll probably be close to this. So I think the selectmen in years past have said, we don't want any increase higher than the CPI if possible. I've talked to the budget heads, and they have no plans for any significant operating increases. The only real thing that's kind of out there on the horizon are wages. We
Health insurance, I would imagine.
met with the police chief and he came to the selectmen with a wage increase package for his officers as well as himself. They put in a 3-year plan, so to speak. Scott, do you wanna talk any more on that?
Sure, so, I think as you're probably all aware, we have been unable to hire police officers. And one of the reasons is our salaries were not competitive. So, this is an attempt to at least bring us to parity with what other departments are paying their officers. We can't match some of there are departments in the state that are giving out $10,000 hiring bonuses to new officers. And we can't afford that. So we're trying to at least bring the salaries up to where we're competitive with other agencies. So, the,
And
police-
not all at one lump.
correct, and not all in one lump sum. We, at this point, fingers crossed, have no vacancies in the police department. So that is the first time we've been able to say that in years.
Over the year.
Yeah.
Almost 2
Yeah,
years.
almost 2 years. So that really is good news. The new officer that we hired has some work experience behind him. He's in the academy now. I think he's gonna do very well. He's been out doing ride time already. So once again, fingers crossed that, it's almost like a marriage. And you want him to like us as much as we like him, so
Right.
hopefully it'll work.
Just, I'm on a Municipal Managers Association listserv, and I just got an email, people have been asking what police department lieutenants make. And Bo has 2 lieutenants. They range from 42.62 to 51.94 per hour.
Wow.
Per hour.
So.
That's what town of Bo is paying a police lieutenant. So,
What were those numbers again, please?
42 to 62.
42?
42.62 to 51.94.
So just over 100,000.
Yeah, but that's a full-time department, and those guys are managerial. We don't have necessarily that same role here.
Correct,
Unless
but
they
that's, I mean, if you start gauging, looking at, I mean, Bo is obviously bigger than Canterbury, but if you start looking around, if you have I guess I would say if you had a sergeant that had been working here for 15 years and has experience, and they have an opening for a lieutenant down there, and our sergeant is making $25 or $30 an hour, that's,
Yeah.
might be, that may be a way to lose that person,
Right.
so. And certainly, we're not gonna be able to afford to pay that much, but at the same time, we have to look at the reality of things. They're talking about firefighters right now. I have a whole bunch of emails now. The town of Ware is doing a study on fire departments, and I've looked, and there's only a couple towns that have responded that are our size. But their pay is higher. They have a full-time chief and 2 or 3 full-time firefighters, and they're paying quite a bit of money. And I don't know how we can compete with some of these things. It's very difficult. I think we've been very fortunate to get along as long as we have.
That people are patient and that they know we're working on it and that, and it may be a little awkward to say that, your salary as well, if we're looking eventually to have a full-time town administrator. We're going to have to start dealing with that now, or any of our office staff, as the town grows and the needs grow, and anybody who goes from part-time to full-time, we can't do it all at once. So, yeah, 3-year plan seems,
So you're thinking 3-year plan, not just for police department, but for all departments?
I think, no, I shouldn't say all departments,
Yeah, I don't-
I'm speaking out of turn.
Yeah,
But for any department that might need a raise.
right, but actually, while we're on salaries, you'll see once you get the budget, information that we've calculated a raise for the town administrator already. I'm not sure how many of you saw the Concord Monitor article that we had the distinction of having the lowest paid town administrator.
As I said, a slightly awkward conversation.
It's a conversation that we have to have. So, we looked at, and to be blunt, the Concord Monitor article left a little bit to be desired because they had mixed in full-time with part-time. So we took it down to hourly rates and, came up with what we think is a fair raise. And Ken agrees, I think, so,
Thank you, Ken.
yeah, well,
We haven't heard what it is yet.
No. 75%, no.
so in my former life, I had the pleasure of times, sometimes not the pleasure, of working with town administrators and city managers, probably well over 100 from around the state. And I will put Ken up against any one of them.
Absolutely.
I think we've been very fortunate, and people that do great work deserve to be compensated.
Agreed.
Well, and yet again, someone who's patient, who realizes we're working on it, who's working with us on it, and is going to set the town up so that someday we don't get a nasty shock,
Right.
a sticker shock, so,
Right.
thank you.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing with the salaries, to try and keep pace with the market, is that if you lose somebody,
Right.
that there isn't that sticker shock when you go and replace them. Because the best thing we can do with the residents is try and keep the peaks and valleys out and try and keep things as consistent as possible.
Right. Okay, good. Thanks
Trying to
for-
think of any other long-term. Oh, actually, do you wanna talk about Penacook Rescue?
Sure, I
Oh, good,
Probably should.
yeah.
I just got an email tonight.
Oh, did you? I was just,
Yeah,
they're
that's why
sweet.
I.
I talked to them this morning, I
Yeah.
asked Ken about them this morning.
So we had been meeting over the last 2 or 3 years with Penacook Rescue, Merrimack County, Boston, and Salisbury about the cost of Penacook Rescue. There are some fairly impactful projects going on in at least Boston and Canterbury. There's a proposed development down at Exit 18 with not just the condos, but a assisted care facility and a memory care unit. Merrimack County is gonna be building expanding their memory care unit significantly.
And their
And-
beds too, right, the regular
And their
beds?
regular
Yeah.
beds. Boston has 2 or 3 housing projects that have, one of them is 42 houses that's been approved, up by the Salisbury town line. The roads are in, they're doing the infrastructure now, and my
Wow.
guess is they're gonna start building houses soon. I know there's a 6-house subdivision going in today, in Boston, so they they're gonna be talking with, they talked with Merrimack County about potentially, because of the amount of call volume that is needed from the Merrimack County facilities, corrections, nursing home, memory care. Merrimack County has some property that they're willing to, I think, don't more or less donate to Penacook Rescue to build a facility there. So they may be moving from where they are now in downtown Penacook to up by the Merrimack County facilities. And they may be staffing 2 full-time units versus just 1, which would be a fairly significant cost increase, so.
Yeah. And they're facing the same issues we are. Salaries for paramedics and EMTs are rising. The supply of people wanting to do this work is dwindling. Much like, trying to find people to do police work or fire work, for that matter. So all of that, I'm afraid, is gonna just come together to give us a potentially a significant increase in that line.
Do we know when? If, I was just wondering about that building,
The
is that like?
email that I got from the director of Penacook Rescue said that they're in negotiation still with Merrimack County, and that his plan was to contact the fire chiefs in all 3 towns to talk about the impacts of some of these projects and the potential for having to staff a second unit. And he said he had planned on talking to them next week. I told him that I was coming to the budget committee meeting tonight, so it was timely news. I think that if it would be a year or 2 before they could build a building and move and potentially staff a second ambulance, they would have to buy another ambulance, they'd have to hire the staff, or right now they're running per diem help, so they don't have full-time paid benefit staff. That may have to change if they're running two units, so.
But there was a possibility they could run 2 units out of their current spot if they had to.
Correct, they have one frontline ambulance and one backup ambulance, so they could make do with that, but they'd still have to get another rig, so.
Right. Which is $300,000 plus.
And staff.
So
And staff and a wait time. of
Yeah.
Around 3 years,
I,
just for new ambulance, so,
yeah, I think Northfield just took delivery of a new ambulance and it was $360,000.
It's crazy, so, there we are.
Do any of our old trucks, can we outfit them really fast? We
I
have
feel like
trucks,
somebody told me that some authority was looking into the possibility of antitrust,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's a
Issues with
federal one.
all these,
Yes.
Equity,
Vehicles?
private equity firms are buying up dealerships and what it's done is taken, it used to be, I'm just gonna throw numbers out, 100 dealers were, that were manufacturing fire apparatus and now there's just a handful.
Right.
So they're looking at it.
and I hate to really ask this, but do we hear anything from the school budget yet?
No, we're meeting with them.
September.
22nd.
Yeah, so,
It's a combined school district, school board with Belmont and Canterbury and the school board.
Fingers crossed.
come on along, open meeting,
It's
yeah?
up at Belmont High School.
Yeah, they're, right, always open meetings. And I just remembered one other thing, I had a resident approach me yesterday, actually, and asked if the town would consider establishing a capital reserve account for solar, purposes. Now, I see we have a renewable energy account established already, so I guess something potentially to consider would be, do we wanna, because what the resident said, and unfortunately it's true, is that if you remember when we all went to the new electrical, building,
Power.
community power, thank you. It has never realized kind of what we were told, which was there would always be a little bit for the town. And, slowly build and be available for renewable energy projects. I think we've got $5,000 or so
Yeah.
currently, and that's it since we started community power. I think we're in our third or fourth year, so it just has not come to fruition, so.
Well, that's also our choice to keep ours at the lowest rate.
It is,
If we made the town go for Canterbury Basic that had the adder, we would get that money, but we
right,
consistently
Right.
chose to try and keep it as low as we
yeah,
could.
which is honestly what was promised to the residents.
Yeah.
So I think that we should continue to honor that promise.
Yeah.
So just something to think about as we start down this.
Well, also, that same, cap reserve for, solar you may well get a proposal from the Energy Committee concerning that.
Okay,
We may all see that. I don't know if they can get it together before, this budget cycle, but it's definitely been a conversation that we've had at committee meeting.
gotcha, okay, all right. I guess we'll see if anything materializes.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
One last thing, just as we're talking about things, I remembered that our road agent came to me last week with a estimate for cutting edges for the plows. We have to buy new cutting edges pretty much every year. The newest estimate to replace our cutting edges with carbide is $12,424.
For all our plows?
That is twice the amount of what we paid last year,
Why are we using carbide?
because they last longer.
Yeah, but they break so damn easy.
Yeah.
That's,
Carbide's not.
well,
I'm just curious. I don't know anything about it.
that's why he gets them, because they last longer. And he doesn't even know if he can get carbides now. That's.
And is that what we put on last year, and this price is for the
Yes.
same stuff?
Yes, yeah. So, that's just as a kind of an aside of what we're finding today is that the prices, and as you know, there were just a whole bunch of tariffs, increased. And that's just, and a lot of the steel now comes out of Canada, so that's gonna impact us even more, so.
Can I back up half a second? If you don't use carbide, what do you use?
Straight steel.
That's plain old steel?
I mean, if they get replaced every year anyway, and they are liable to break, why buy more expensive
Well,
product?
again, it's one of those, I don't know how much damage they get from breaking, but they've always been running carbides because they last longer. So, and I don't know that he replaces every single one every year, but it's just one of those, he said, hey, just so you know, this is what I got for an estimate for replacing carbides this year. I said, okay.
And is this on, that amount was for all the plows?
All the
or-
plows.
But it may not be that much if
That
he
includes the
doesn't
road
do
grader too, that includes the road grader, so.
Okay.
Oh, it's only one.
Yep.
Sorry.
Can have that.
Well, thank you. Do you know when you wanna, when we will meet next?
Our budget directors will get us our budgets, get the budgets to us the 1st of November. So I think probably
You mean the department heads?
department heads. So I think, probably end of November, 1st of December.
Yeah.
That give the selectmen time to digest the budgets, the proposed budgets, and then hopefully make some changes if needed, and ask you guys to come in and say, what do you think?
And while Ken was talking, I did look up, the CPI as of right now is 3.4%. So,
Also, I looked up the negative income. It's because there's a bunch of motor vehicle credits on that line. So I'll have to ask Sam and Mary why those are on that line and why there's a bunch of credits. Just looking at that.
Getting money back. Why wouldn't it?
Is there a transfer of title?
I've got no idea.
yeah, I don't know.
It could be like we're getting money from the DMV on one line, but we have to pay first, I don't know. I don't know why the income
Yeah.
us.
Mistress.
So Ken, you're thinking, the next budget like before Thanksgiving, or are we going to bump it into December after we make it through
I
Thanksgiving?
haven't even looked at the calendar, Beth, I'm sorry.
Alright, no, no.
Let's just get to September, okay?
Well, look at all this empty space to fill in, look, it's empty.
You can meet with yourself.
I mean, look, I want plans that look like.
Thank you guys for coming along.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Dave, is the maintenance net still up in the salt shed? Is the
Oh, yeah,
maintenance net
it's
still up
still
there?
there, and we suspect that Dagan's car keys are up there in it. He dropped them on the ground, and Raven went by and no keys around anywhere.
Oh, that's,
That's right.
I told him, you got ladders tall enough to get there.
well, and if somebody with a long stick beats them off,
And the fledglings ain't around right now,
no.
so now would be a good time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So just so you know, the setup on the Packer truck is working pretty good.
Yay.
Haven't had any issues with it. We only run it as we need it.
Yeah, it was nice and quiet up there the other day and
And
nobody's driven off with it
it looks
plugged in.
like I might be having to spend some more of the town's money for fluorescent tube disposal. I've got stockpiled.
Okay,
Oh,
What I'd like to do is, last time we shipped them, I had them, the 4-footers are in boxes and I'd stand them up in a Gaylord so that they were confined, easier to maneuver.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have Gaylords to do that.
alright,
And it looks like we might need to see about getting a mag switch on the baler. The movable section broke, and we epoxied it back together. When we set the tipping table, it gets close to that, where that magnet switch is. And it got too close and moved it just enough to snap that, plastic that is made out of.
Yeah,
So we just boxed it back together and put it on.
okay. All right.
All right, thanks, Dave. We appreciate it.
I've got a little information, cause I would love to see a second baler brought in when it's available, you know, when it's able to. There's a place in either Pembroke or Allenstown that has refurbished ones, $9,000. They service the ones down at Deerfield, which are basically tremor lots that you see at the stores. They, ironically, they're running 5 of them off single phase. I can walk down the line, turn every single one on. The lights don't dim.
Okay,
But I've got one of their business cards if you want. I don't know if I left one with Ken a while back or not.
I think I have it, yeah.
and when would you run that second baler that you're just talking about?
Plastic as it comes in.
Alright,
What I'm looking at is, right now, we're handling the plastic up to 6 times before we even ship it. That's man hours, which is payroll. I've baled plastic on 2 occasions as it come in. It can be done.
okay,
And you got the packer truck here, we have the glass here and the tin cans here. That baler can set right in that area where the void is. It's accessible from the Bobcat with no problem. And don't take up none of my floor space. Because that wooden platform, right in that area can be removed, and that baler slid right back like the other one is, well,
Okay.
2.5, 3 feet off the wall. And now that we've already got the power in there, that's one less expense there. It's an item that you guys can look into, or look at.
when we get back to the transfer station project,
Yeah, that, I can do it with people coming in, bale of plastic. It'll, clean up my, door yard, cause I won't have all those big plastic tubs out there.
okay,
Which will also save on fuel on the Bobcat. Cause we don't have to keep moving. And while I was on vacation for my honeymoon, I was surprised the price we got for your cat food cans. 72 cents a pound baled.
what were you expecting?
Maybe 30.
Well,
Cause if I remember right, your beverage cans brought 92. And this junk is bringing 72.
are people utilizing the cat food can?
Yes.
bin? They are?
Yes.
I'll put a reminder in, it was cat food and sardines, right?
It's cat food, sardines, tin foil, aluminum
Used
pie
aluminum,
plates, that type of stuff.
I'll put a reminder in there,
That's
I think
working.
I've got a hole on the transfer
And
station
I'm
page.
checking with Hardings about Gaylords, but non-ferrous. From what I understand, they will haul it at no cost. They're full, they come up, you just pick them up in the bucket, put them in the truck, and off they go, and put them in there. Instead of shipping it with light iron.
Right.
I think that was a smart decision I made by telling Patrick to take their second box. Because my calculations off the top of my head, $200 a month rental weren't gonna pay for itself a year.
Alrighty,
Thanks again, Dave.
thanks,
You're
Dave.
welcome, and I
See you
hope I
soon.
did a good job for you.
Alrighty, I got a
We
list
know
that
you
I have
will.
to sit and go through with you sometime, but not tonight.
Deerfield is still insisting I come down there 3 days a week. That's no,
Yeah.
I come down 1 day a week, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Thank
they
you.
value my opinion enough down there and my operating methods. The town administrator gave me the access code to their to their phone cameras.
Okay.
So I can sit here and look, see what they're doing down there on Saturdays.
Make sure they're working.
But,
See you soon, Dave.
all right,
David.
I'll be at my domains
All right.
Thank you, sir.
tomorrow.
Oh. Oh,
All right,
Good night, sir.
inviting me.
Okay, library HVAC.
No. We need to make a decision on that.
Alright,
I sent an email to Unitil to see, and I sent them the proposal from Live3 to see if any portion of that would be available for on-bill financing. I have not heard back from them. So my guess is the mini splits would be, which was $14,000 of it. I don't know, and what they had proposed for revision was a grant from New Hampshire Saves plus on-bill financing.
Right.
Project. So there'd be no upfront costs at all to that revision plan. The Live Free, the rest of them, they would be upfront costs too. As far as HVAC is concerned.
Does the upfront cost versus having no upfront cost sway anybody to thinking that deal, it's a better system for the building? Or is it just a better way to finance
so
something?
I spent part of the week reviewing all of the proposals again. One of the things I noticed in the revision paperwork that they submitted was they're using units that are efficient enough that will produce heat at 22 below zero. And I've kind of, I think, changed my mind, and I think for me, the revision one makes the most sense because we can do the on-bill financing for that. And, you know, it looks as though the units that revision is proposing will heat that library down to 22 below, which we don't get down that cold very often. I think it probably once in the last 10 years or so, it's not that cold.
And if it's, quite frankly, if it's 22 below, how many people are coming out to go to the library?
Right.
But you don't want anything
No.
to freeze in there, it may be colder, but the pipe, it'll keep the pipes from freezing.
Right. So I don't know where the other you two are, but that's where I am.
I still like Live Free. I like having two different heat sources. You have a fail safe, the maintenance is a lot easier on a propane furnace. It's more readily available. If something breaks, you can fix it in 24 hours. Heat pumps aren't the same, or mini splits aren't the same.
The only, one of the furnaces is still working in the library. One of the three, so whether that
You
makes
can't limit it to run the whole building. There's a reason there's three.
Yeah, I understand that, I just wanted to, just make sure you know who's.
Does, so Live Free's, revisions, estimate or their proposal was for 8 heads in the library?
Yes,
and do
that's
we-
correct.
Do we still have, again, and by the royal we, I don't know how much of an issue it is for the holes in the wall, of putting in I know that somebody brought that up.
Yeah, you just core through the wall. You get a big ass drill that cores through it, they put the heads.
But it doesn't
in.
compromise the structure or the heating
No,
or
it's
the,
It's a,
Double layer.
whatever.
it's a concrete block building and drilling a 2-inch hole through it is not a big deal.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright. So do we have the, you've got all the numbers
Mhm.
up right there.
Yep.
And I don't know, this is the spreadsheet that I put together.
Is that the one from that we've had?
Yep.
Alright. Let's see.
That's the interest.
Oh.
That's the interest.
Yeah, yes, there you go.
Where does it say? Oh, here we go.
Right.
Easy come, easy go.
What was the date on that, Kim? Oh, no, this is different.
Do you want me to give him my copy, Beth?
Yes, please. I know it's here and I put it someplace easy to find. Oh, wait, energy. No, that's energy connect.
Talking about August 17th.
All right.
And I think you're both aware of the communication from, the head of the HDC that
I've got
he
it.
does think there should be a, hearing for the exterior units. And I think no matter which way we go, I think that will be necessary.
Well, that would be interesting if we decide to go with all HVAC and they say, no, we can't do, you can't do it, like that. What would that hearing entail? Just getting?
I-
Can they say no?
They can, but you guys don't, it's a town and you don't have to take their
They're advisory.
advice, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
And I don't believe that there would be an answer of no.
No, I don't know.
I think it's just, let's have a public hearing so everybody knows what's going on.
So, if we can, what I didn't get, so if revision is 64 and none of that is upfront?
None of that would be upfront.
And if,
I had done the calculations, so if we took 20,000 from the cap reserve, so it brings it down to 44. And I think and then 15,000 from the library that they have for a grant, it puts us at, I can't remember, I had $258 a month for 10 years or something.
right. Which when we were looking at it originally, it was the difference, it was a substantial difference between the revision on-bill financing and the Bumblebee on-bill financing, but that's because we weren't looking at the
We weren't looking
at
at
the same
the
thing.
same.
They were like $72.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
so so that's like $250 a month on bill. So if we do go with Live Free for 78, we still would delete well, I shouldn't say delete. We have 20 to spend. Do we still get the $15,000 grant?
Yes. The $15,000 grant is any of these systems is eligible for $15,000.
Okay.
So I just did the math again. It would be for on-bill financing for revision would be $241.88 a month.
So if we went with Live Free, we'd have to come up with an additional 43,000 upfront in addition to the 20 that we've got in the cap reserve and the $15,000 grant, but we still have to come up with 43,000, and then we don't know if any of that is, at that point, we paid for it, we don't have any portion of it that's, we don't know.
My guess is a portion of that 14,000 for the mini splits would be, we could have on-bill financing, but I'm not sure what.
some portion. But we're also we're also going to have an electric bill and a propane bill,
Correct,
whereas with revision, we'll just have an electric bill,
correct.
okay? All of which can be, okay. so one would hope that the combined even propane and electric will be less per month than what we're paying now, because they're all
The
more
newer
efficient
units would be more efficient.
all the way
so-
across the board.
And with the insulation, the new insulation project, we hope we would guess that but we don't know what the cost of propane is gonna be or the cost of electricity either.
No.
So.
I must confess, I liked Live Free's proposal. And I liked the backup of having the furnaces. And I liked there seemed to be a lot of ways for them to control how they heated the building. And using, the ductwork that we have and just putting the mini splits where they would work the best. It is very enticing to go with a no upfront cost and then be able to just do it all on the on-bill financing. Especially given the current financial picture that we're looking at. But is that enough of a reason to choose that system if it's not the best to heat that building? Setting aside for a minute any other issues about which company anybody likes better. So, and you're all in a better position to weigh in on that than I. I haven't had any problem with the mini splits. I mean, in my house, I've had them for 10 years and I can't say how efficiently they heat when it's 22 degrees. What is it to?
-22.
Negative 22, because when it's that cold, I run the wood stove, which we're obviously not doing in the library, so. Okay, global warming, things are getting warmer, not colder. What was the, do you recall what the minimum heating was for the live-free units?
I don't off the top of my head.
The furnaces, we're not concerned about, but the two mini splits,
Did they give you any of the sizing for the heat loss paperwork, the projections for heat loss?
No, I asked them to do a heat loss on the building, but they did not include that in any of their,
did anybody? I thought nobody did they? Did Revision do a heat loss?
I believe they
I
did.
asked Rowells and Live Free to do one, and my guess is they did it. And that was part of the paperwork that I sent, that do a heat loss and
Yeah.
determine the calculations, the requirements off the heat loss. And my guess is that's what they did.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they sent it.
Most companies will do that, but,
Well, otherwise, how would they size it?
right, that,
Yeah,
I can't imagine it's going to be that different. I mean, quite frankly, everybody told me that my mini split unit was only good to like 10 degrees above. And when I actually looked at the specs for the unit itself, it was said 20 below, so I was like, okay, so
yeah.
hedging your bet a little bit there.
Revision one, in the original proposal, he said in our design process, we use laser measurements in the library to ensure accurate sizing for our units, as well as accounting for the insulation levels and windows in the spaces to ensure our design would meet all heating and cooling needs without oversizing.
Does that mean they need to do it again, because we've had insulation since?
no, they did it after.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Rowells, the original bid from Rowells was before an installation, but they came back and did a revised bid.
So, out of curiosity, last winter or even this spring, because I think, you were questioning why our heating bills were so much more, but spring, we had a lot of really cold weather this spring. So I think it was spring, not winter, that did us in. But at that point, were they still only running one furnace in there? When did the other?
I think the other
It was April when they told us that the two were gone, were down,
Okay,
weren't operating. The last delivery of propane we got for the library was in March 25th.
yeah.
I feel like she said February,
when the
previous meeting.
furnace went down.
Yeah.
So excuse perhaps the stupidity of this question, but even if revision went in there, is there any reason to keep the one limping along furnace that's there for the just in cases? Or is it like not even worth that?
You don't know what it would produce for heat. Maybe enough to keep your pipes from freezing, but
I mean, that's the biggie.
yeah, maybe.
If it's that cold, again, people aren't going to be in there or coming out, or,
Or if they don't run it, does it just break?
I don't know. I mean, it's there, do they, if it's still running at all, is it worth it to keep it?
You know, but you've got 4 exterior units producing heat. What's the likelihood of all 4 failing?
No, that's true. I guess if it fails, like at the front part of the building where but there's no water back in the back, right, where the archives are?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, the only place that there's, heck, push comes to shove, we could have space here in the bathrooms.
And that archive section has its own mini split.
Oh, that's right.
Already. Yeah.
Well,
Just for comparison, as far as propane use, in 2025, they used 2,300 gallons of propane. In 2024, they used 2,400 gallons. And in 2023, they used 2,600 gallons. So, and then 26, I only have till March because part of the 25 season was in the spring or in the fall, I mean. And this from January to March, they used 1,400 gallons. And in previous years, the previous same amount, in 25 they had let's see, 765 gallons in the fall. So almost 800, same thing. Let's see, in 24, they had another 600 gallons in the fall. So, it's tough to tell because of the weather and everything, but there hasn't been a big fluctuation in the amount of gallons of propane they've been using.
even with the new installation?
Well, the insulation, and again, they used 1,400 gallons in the first part of 26, and in the first 3 months of 25, they used 1,500 gallons. I don't, was the weather different? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they used 100 gallons less this year than they did last year. And I think the weather this year was colder than last year.
Yep.
So,
But 100 gallons is no big,
no, as far as the propane use.
yeah. Well, and the other part of the equation is not only the the upfront cash out the door, which, how big of a hit is 43,000 going to be to what we've got available? So, yeah.
Well, we have 1.5 million in CDs right now.
There we go.
Which, you know, is gonna be depleted, we're gonna have to cash them in as, and like I said to the budget committee, we went from, February or what, I think it was February that our last one was cashed in, till June before we, took 3 more
To
out.
another, yeah.
So we went 3 or 4 months without any CDs because we had payments.
Right.
One was a $490,000 payment for the fire truck. But we have school payments, we don't know what the school's gonna do. And as Sam said last week, the overdue taxes are higher than normal.
Oh, remind me, I want to run
Almost.
by what I want to put in the newsletter about that.
Almost 200,000
Yeah,
still on.
So I mean,
it's definitely, it definitely swings the needle towards the more comfortable financing end of things. And the other thing is, again, we will be getting, I mean, I don't know which resident you talked to, but we will be getting a proposal from the Energy Committee about starting a cap reserve for solar. They really wanna push getting the town on solar. Which would certainly, hold up, power the mini splits is what I'm trying to say. So if we're going to try and go that route, it's a good place to start. Yeah. It's hard to also kind of step away from the energy that's circulated this whole discussion, but and Rowell's is out of nobody seems to be talking about Rowell's.
well,
They didn't wanna do mini splits at all,
they
so.
don't wanna do all mini splits anyway. And they're, you know, their high one was 87,000 and their low one is 70, almost 71,000.
Okay. One second.
Well, that's the other, the live free is 14,000 more than.
Which accounts, yeah.
It's the cost of the furnaces, right?
Well, and you're getting almost microclimates in your ducting now. They're upgrading your ducting in your venting so you can better control the building.
Gotcha.
If you play that game, you're trying to heat down at night, turn your cooling down at night, make the building more efficient in all your micro zones. So you could save more energy that way. I think it's quieter to heat with forced hot air. And listening to those machines kick on and the heads kick up. You're talking about a library, I mean, I could probably pick it apart 10,000 ways to Sunday. The reality is, my vote's for live free. I think it's a better system for the building. I think it gives them more flexibility. I don't mind the upfront cost because it's out of the way. We paid for it, it's done, it's gone. I'm personally not a fan of on-bill financing. I like to pay my stuff and be done with it. That way, if anything comes down the road, you're not trying to on-bill this, everything's made up. That's personal. If they want revision, I guess go for it, but I don't wanna, my fear is you're gonna hear gripes 2, 3, 4 years down the road. With the whole building, with mini splits like that. But I don't work there, so
What's Sam Lake use? With our mini splits?
All mini splits.
And how many years has the new building been up?
11,
Yeah.
it was 15.
Issues?
Issues with the.
Yeah.
I mean,
building?
11 years, yeah.
Not that I know, Cal, you comfortable?
The only problem we have is that Sometimes people will turn off the mini splits and then forget to turn them back on.
Okay,
I won't name names.
understood.
I have something between the two. So the mini splits, are they like from revision, are they like connected, like controllable, like the live free one is, or are they just normal mini splits?
Usually
have the
each
little
one's gonna
remote.
have its own control head, so each mini split will, whatever ducting or heads are coming off that unit will run
Yeah.
off of that unit.
Each head will operate independently.
Okay,
So you could have, because I have, in my house, in the upstairs section, we have 5 heads. And you can set one at 60, you can set one at 70, you can set one at 80. They all have to be either hot, either heating or cooling.
Right.
They all have to be doing the same thing, but they can be set at different temperatures.
Oh, that's good to know.
my concern is cybersecurity because HVAC systems are notorious for being entryways for cybersecurity problems.
What?
Because like the Internet of Things, the people who are making those products aren't thinking about cybersecurity as much traditionally, and also the people who are installing them aren't thinking about cybersecurity as much. So you'll put your HVAC on the Wi-Fi, and then if the HVAC is susceptible to a hack, which it more often is than say your like Windows computer, then you get like your entire building can get hacked. Like when I worked for an elevator company, that was a concern we had because we were connecting our elevators into the IT system for the building, and we had lots of instances that we knew of where HVAC, or one time it was a smart fish tank that was used to hack into the system for the company that was in the building because it's all connected. So like I don't know. I don't think that's very weighty in this conversation, but that is one thing where from a cybersecurity perspective, I would prefer the dumb option than the smart option.
So the live-free option seems to be the smartest option, according
They're both gonna run off, everything runs off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi now.
Well, that's why I asked
Rachel
about the
can
mini
control
splits,
those
are
mini
they-
splits from her house if she wants. She'll be able to do it on either system, they're just different.
But we
types.
can't do it with this one. I mean, this you have to sit,
Well, that's,
or mine.
that's an older system.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't look at the specs for the revision one. I don't know what they have in there for Wi-Fi compatibility. My guess is they would be, but it's not something you need to use
Right.
if you don't want to.
Right. But everything has that capability.
But if you don't use it, if you don't utilize it, can you still hack it?
Depends on if you turn it off right.
Oh.
If you got a smart thermostat in your house, it's the same thing.
I do not have a
Yeah, I
dumb
don't either.
I have a dumb thermostat. And the dumb operator for the thermostat. So, we're safe. We are cyberly safe. Alright, so this doesn't make the conversation any easier. You still seem,
Yeah, I'm not gonna move, I'll just, for the sake of the conversation, I'm not moving. So if you two want revision, you can get revision, but I'm not budging.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Disagreement is,
I mean, my sense is I just don't, I mean, the money is one thing. It's a big thing. And we have the money to do it, even if it's tight, with other things coming up that we don't know about. So the financing angle is good, but I just don't have a grasp on which is actually the better system for the building. And my tendency, as I was just saying, to go towards revision is again, if the energy committee is going to make a push for municipal solar, it would support that system more. So. And since the energy committee is picking up steam and really wants to put their energy, as it were, towards that. And what are you, you're still thinking, what are you thinking?
I don't think Calvin and I are gonna budge from my position.
Oh, don't, does that mean I have to decide?
Listen,
No, I don't like it.
there's nothing that says we all have to agree.
No, well, two out of the three of us have to
Right.
agree anyway.
And I just wanna remind you guys, you have to make a decision tonight.
Yeah.
In order to get whatever system installed.
Yeah.
In time for
It's
the
gonna,
existing.
it's gonna be fall.
Well, still has to go to HTC, so you got what, 2 weeks?
I-
Third
Can
week of
we
August.
get them to go faster?
I guess I would say that don't make your decision based on having to go to the HCC.
I think there's gotta be a way to make that part of it work,
Yes.
one would hope.
There is.
Okay. I think I think
If you go revision, what do they do with the existing system in there? Are they ripping all that shit out? Is all the ductwork coming out? Are they ripping
No,
everything out of that building?
but I don't believe that's part of the
So
bid.
they're just gonna mothball it and leave it in place?
I would assume that's what they're gonna do.
No. I'm gonna use my challenge coin if I'm gonna use anything. I've never used the darn thing before. You know, nobody needs to see me flipping coins on camera.
Sorry. Little levity is done
I think
sometimes.
I've had my fill of levity today. I don't know. I hate to say, I shouldn't say I hate to say. There are reasons why I don't necessarily want to go towards the revision, but I find there's a lot of good reasons to go with the revision bid. If that makes sense.
Absolutely do.
Yeah.
Levity.
That means I'm torn.
Oh,
But if I must decide, and I must because we have to do it tonight, and I've got one revision and one live free HVAC, and it has nothing to do with the fact that, yeah. But I think I would have to go with revision. I think if the system can be adjusted so that, unlike this one perhaps, that it runs all the time at 70 degrees no matter what, if this could be adjusted so that it would use less electricity when the building wasn't being used or there was nobody in there, et cetera, et cetera.
We can do that in this one.
I know,
It's
but we
just,
don't.
we haven't set it up that way because people have changed it every time.
Moving along.
So it's just as easy to just say, no, this is what we're gonna leave it at.
Okay,
Because if we try to program it for on, off, or hot, cold, someone's just gonna come in and mess with it.
no, I
Unless we
get it.
hide the remote, which I really.
I think we tried that once, actually.
We had a lockbox on the old one and it still got broken into, I guess.
No. I think I'd have to go with revision. I do. I liked a lot about, all your reasons that you said. I cannot say with assurance, the same way that you can say with insurance, that, if your heat pump breaks, it's just gonna be trashed,
it's not trash, it's just,
hard to fix.
you don't walk in and pick the parts up off the shelf.
No, that's correct, but will all the heads go at once, all the units go at once, everything go at once, would that building be
But
bad?
if you lose a mini split, you lose 2-3 heads, you lose a section of heating in that building,
You lose
cooling.
2 heads.
You lose an entire zone.
Yeah.
That zone's down for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 days, 5 days. Everything else is trying to play catch up and make up for it. Now you're overworking those. If it's -15 and you're overworking those, or it's 10 degrees and you're working, you gotta play the game with the machines. That's a big open building.
Yeah.
Propane is fail-safe. Propane will heat whenever. Propane is repairable. You still supplement the cold spots with I mean, I'm not gonna change your mind, you've already made your mind up, but like.
No,
the
I
reason
haven't,
behind-
but I
the reason behind
haven't.
doing
That's the
rely solely
problem.
on mini splits, anything we do in work with big spaces like that, we don't solely like to heat with that type of heat for those reasons. Now, I don't work in a building, if they wanna close it because it's cold, they can close it because it's cold, but in that capacity, the Sam Lake House isn't that building. You can heat these areas effectively with a mini split. When you start getting large spaces in those zones, then it becomes different.
Yeah,
That's my hesitation for it. And when I see the forced hot air and the ability to utilize the existing system and make it smarter, more efficient, that's why I lean towards that. Propane's not going anywhere. You know, depending on what the cost is, everything fluctuates, electricity fluctuates, et cetera, but it's a constant. If you lose a furnace, it's 14 grand to replace one.
and all those arguments make sense to me, that's the problem, that's the problem.
I think the
This-
biggest hangup
this-
is the 43 grand, whether you wanna pay it up front or on bill finance. I think in my mind, that's what I'm seeing is the hiccup. It's easier to on bill finance and not take the 43 up front.
That, the 43 upfront still doesn't bother me as much as making sure it's a system that's good for that building. For the longest amount of time and the most efficient use of the money going forward, okay, so it's 43 grand now, but what is it for propane costs? And, I mean, electric costs aren't going down, but neither is propane. The only advantage is, I mean, of that whole system, what percentage of it is the mini splits that we can offset with the solar?
Well, and again, is the solar gonna go on the roof of the library? Or is it gonna go on the municipal, like, it's not, I guess for me, it's solar, I don't solely fixate the offset being for the mini splits, it could be for any other municipal building.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So that's the only reason I'm not against that argument, but it's not like those panels are running those
That's
four
true.
units, they supplement everything else, so.
Yes.
That's my counter to that argument, you know what I mean? You put up the municipal complex with all the upgrades they've made up there, maybe you can net zero up there, I don't know. I don't know enough of the building or how it runs or operates or insulation, but, obviously I'm not gonna change my mind, that's my reason for not, I guess, agreeing with you guys. It's not that I don't like Revision's price, I like the price a lot better. I just believe in the other system has more durability, and I'm more comfortable in a catastrophic case of being able to replace or work on that expeditiously versus.
Well, and that's what I liked about that quote when I first saw it, that it had the backup and plus your argument, so talk to me the other way. Go for it.
I think from an
Okay.
energy efficiency standpoint, that the mini splits are more energy efficient. I think that if one unit goes down for whatever reason, you've still got three other operating units. And you can supplement, bring in space heaters or whatever, if need be. And do the first time, and it is $14,000 cheaper.
And not upfront.
Right, which I'm also not, we've got money. I do note that it's a 12-year manufacturer's warranty versus 7 for the leak-free. So there is that. Then, as far as I can tell, both are established companies, so I don't think either one is gonna be going anywhere.
Do we have something else to talk about while I'm thinking?
Nope. This is it.
Okay.
Got two things to sign.
I can bring up something real
Yeah.
quick. I got the estimate from Premier Roofing for the Municipal Building.
Oh, yay.
That $32,000 we have in interest.
Yeah.
Will not quite cover the cost of what they need to do for repairs like that. It's $33,000.
Okay.
Well, that
Give
was,
you a cost of a new roof?
that was timely.
Pardon me?
Did it give you a cost of a new roof?
They did not give me a cost. That's to replace all the screws, to replace all the boots that need to be replaced, and put diverters in so the poke-throughs don't get hit by snow again.
And how long will all of that last? Did they give you any estimate, like,
He
it's been 20 years for it to get to where it is now?
He didn't say, but I can check with him, see what they have. I mean, the building's 23 years old now, so another 23 years, so 20 years. For the screws anyway, and then, for
The boots and things?
the boots and things, I know we replaced some of them about 10 years ago. So I don't know. And
And then you were talking about the thing in the valley with the caulking and everything.
right, the valley over the fire chief's office needs some repair work, and they're not sure. This is one of the repairs that was done, a temporary repair or a Band-Aid, so to speak, was to put a bunch of caulking in there. And he said they'd like to pull the caulking up and pull it apart and look at it and try to figure out what has to be done. So,
And will that replacing all the little rubber gaskets around the screws at the edge, will that solve the other leaking problems that the roof seems to have, or
I don't know if.
was that the boots?
I don't,
That's the big problem.
the leaks now have been really the boots for the poke-throughs.
Okay,
The screws are more of a preventative maintenance type thing. And they're really not in a location where even if they started to leak, that it would be a significant leak. They're just little 1/4-inch screws that hold the edge down. So, but it's one of those things where, preventative medicine.
yeah.
can-
Sure. When do we have to decide on that?
I don't know.
Okay, alright. And the other thing that I thought we needed to talk about was where we're going to vote. Because I was just about to put the if I ever get out of here, the newsletter should go to press tomorrow, and it says we're voting in the school.
That's incorrect.
Okay,
We're gonna have to vote at the town hall.
okay,
The school is not open on Monday, and there's no one there for anybody to set up for learning. And they're not comfortable with going in on Thursday and setting up and having it set up all Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
In case somebody steals the tables or.
I don't know if they're working in the cafeteria or whatever.
they're still doing a lot of fencing and stuff out
I
there
don't
outside the
know,
door.
I don't know, they
But
said
the school itself didn't want it
they
set up?
would rather not have us come in on and set it up for the whole weekend.
So I'll change that to town hall?
And I already notified the town clerk,
Okay.
and he's notifying the moderator.
Okay.
All right, actually, as long as you're still trying to decide, Beth, let's do some signing. So I have two things here. First is an interfund transfer for the sliding water tank. So it's a transfer from the highway equipment cap reserve fund to our operating account. So I'll make that motion.
Oh, I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No. I'm not opposed.
Silence is dead. Just wanna make sure.
Yeah. These are very nice copies from you.
Yeah.
But this is,
That, actually, I might as well give you that as well. Alright, next one is an interfund transfer from the Sam Lake Expendable Trust to TD Bank Operating. And it looks like it's expenses related to the garage. Yeah. So I'll make that motion.
Final payment on the garage.
Okay, and actually, I think I forgot to say, the amount is $37,752.92.
I will second
Actually, there's a discrepancy of a penny. Just have you guys take a quick look at that.
What?
92 cents versus 91 cents.
Must be a rounding.
The calculator was haunted today.
Okay.
If you brought that out to 3 decimal places, it would.
So
We
we should not
may have,
like to.
we may have an equipment,
Request for a new
Request
calculator.
for a new calculator, because Mary's been dealing with her haunted calculator for a couple of years now.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think we could do
I
that.
take pictures when it does the stuff, cause it's so,
Wow.
I've tried complaining to Canon, they don't care.
Sounds about right.
So which number does it matter, for a penny, or does it matter for a penny?
How about you
It looks
approve
like-
it for either and then.
Where's that quarter, Ken?
So the paperwork indicates it's for 91.
Give that quarter just in case.
Alright, so make it
91.
91.
All right, all right. So I'll make that motion 37,752.91.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry to tie us up on such a little thing, but
No, you noticed, that was good.
yeah.
I thought that was a good catch of Kelly too. Where are all these zeros?
Right. All right.
And a fire truck party.
Yeah, which I think is, it's tradition, but it's also a good idea
Yeah.
for the citizens to see where a lot of their money is going. All right, I think we're at that point.
Okay.
And if you need to flip a coin, have at it.
No, I don't, it's. I still think I would choose to go with revision,
Final answer?
yes.
Alright.
Um,
Vision it is?
especially in, and it really is, I can't speak with the passion that you do about the difference in the systems. But to me, a lot of it is, looking at stuff like this, realizing we still have transfer station issues ahead of us. The wage issue, there's just a lot of money going out the door. I don't think, I don't feel the same way you do that, and maybe that's my lack of experience speaking, but I don't feel that it's a system that will leave us stranded in the cold. And it does seem like Revision is a company that if we have a problem, will go the extra mile to make it right. Especially with, part of it is their town connections, but part of it is just the size and the quality of the company, so I don't.
Cal, the minutes will reflect a 2-to-1 vote for that.
Yes.
Very good. All right, other business that we need to attend to? Anybody?
Yeah. One
Calvin?
thing that I have is, I was put in contact with a person that is interested in contracting with us for a welfare officer. So I'm getting the details and I'll put that to you.
I'm very interested to hear the details. We'll get them. Calvin, anything from you?
No.
Beth?
No,
Okay.
I'm good. Though I did hear the call that I got just before I came here was, my friend who just moved back out to Oregon, who is, got a lot of experience in social services, and was head of a large agency out there to much renown. And said that if anybody, wanted to talk to him about any hesitation about, the kind of position or what you might wanna have a social surgeon or a welfare person do, he'd be happy to talk. He's sending me his resume, so you know that he's got qualifications.
And I guess
Everybody wants to.
yeah, I had another resident who said to me, maybe we think about changing the title from welfare officer to something different. That, to a citizen you're looking to utilize, there could be a stigma attached to welfare. But
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Final Final item for tonight would be signing
There you go.
the sympathy card. for the-
Yes, thank you for remembering that.
So is this going to Peter? This is going to the family?
It will go to the family.
Okay.
All right, here. You're gonna write something appropriate.
Oh, geez.
Because, yeah, I know how this played out already. A resident wordsmith.
Yeah, right, when I've got smush for brains at the moment.
Please accept our condolences.
No, I hate that, that's so,
I did too, on camera.
oh,
I'm so sorry.
You'll take care of letting the library,
I will let the library and the other companies know.
and I think we're all in agreement that the town needs to take the lead in with this install, so I know you know that already, but just for the record.
Yep.
Thank you.
yeah, I just,
You're much better at that than I am.
my handwriting at the moment is not good. Make sure I spelled everything right. Oh, would you cross that T? Grailful.
Thank you. Rise on pen.
Go.
Yep, all right,
Thank you.
thank you. Like I said, I'm glad you remembered.
I think I left you a stack of cards. You should just keep them in the office for future reference.
All right, anything else?
No,
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
Right.